Hello, I'm Sarah, otherwise known as Yarnmugs on Instagram and Ravelry, but I'm not on Ravelry very much. This is my 11th? Number 11th podcast. And this is my podcast about my knitting, crochet and beginner sewing journey. Welcome if you are new. Thank you for giving me a try. Hope you like what you see, and very happy to have everyone back who are regular viewers, and for all your lovely comments that you leave me. Thank you so much. At the end of the last podcast, I spoke about my 1 year podcast anniversary giveaway. So I thought maybe we'd start off with the giveaway winner first of all. I had lots of entries into the giveaway. I just asked for people to leave me a comment after the last video, and we had 62 comments. So I've just pulled up random number generator on my phone, but before that I thought I'd just go through again and show you what is part of the giveaway. This is my second giveaway, and I really want to make my giveaways, things that are personal to me, a bit of handmade, so not things that I've necessarily had to go out and buy. I just want it to be pretty simple, but hopefully things that you'll like, and also I suppose passing things on that I am not going to get any benefit from, but someone else will. So I've got the little box all ready here. I'll just get some bits out. The first thing, it was this crochet book, and this was a gift that was given to me, and I just don't make amigurumi anymore, but I know that other people would love this book. Really lovely little characters in there, and it's by Lynn Rowe. She's the Wool Nest on Instagram. She's a fantastic designer. So that's the first prize. So it's brand new, as in it's never been used. Really good condition. I also wanted to give away a prize that I'd won, but that I'm not going to use, and it's from Rowan Yarns, and it's a faux fur pom-pom. And with that prize, it's in a little Rowan bag, and came a little tape measure that you can have as well. I then had curated lots of yarn minis, mainly they are all from my leftover projects that I've made. I have got 10 pairs of matching minis that someone can put into a scrappy sock, scrappy mitten pattern. There are other yarn balls in there as well, and or you could just put it into a blanket, crochet blanket, knitting blanket, whatever you like. And they're all in here. I don't want to get them out because I want them to be a surprise. Hope you like them. I think what I didn't mention last time was that they are all indie dyed yarn, so they're all independent yarn dyers, really beautiful yarns, variation in colours. There's a bit of an ombre effect, like a fade effect with the pairings, and that just goes to show sometimes when you make things you have a bit of a colour or similar colour palette. So I hope you enjoy those. I've added a little notebook. I love a notebook. I always have one on the go with any of my projects that I'm making. This is actually plain paper, but I just thought it's such a cute little book, so you can have that. I'm throwing in some Christmassy chocolates, jingly bells. I also wanted to make something, so I spoke about making a project bag. Did I say that last time? I can't remember, but I have. I've made a project bag, and I followed the fantastic tutorial by Ali from Little Drops of Wonderful. I think it was in her Vlogtober videos. She did a tutorial for a drawstring bag. So this is the one I've made. It's a box bottom. It's made out of denim from the denim skirt that I made. The green is a poly cotton that I made some pyjamas or the Saphira trousers out of. and I've lined it with chambray, which I used for the very first dress I ever made, which was the Stevie dress. Really lovely. And I've even put a little label in. So it's only small, but it's perfect for a little project. I'm really pleased with it. I had made another one, but I'd made a mistake, and I really didn't want to send one with a mistake. I'll show you that one while we're talking about sewing. And this was similar, as in it's my denim skirt. I made this beautiful fabric. I made my dress, I made my sister a dress out of, and again I've done the chambray. It's such a shame because that's really lovely. I do really love this, but I've made a mistake with this part, with the what do you call this? The drawstring sort of channel. So it looks fine when it's like that, but it just wasn't perfect enough for a gift. It's just a bit wrong. But that's a fantastic pattern, you know, for any sewers out there. It's really lovely, very neat. I'm really pleased with it. Lovely, that box bottom. It's floppy because it's only lined, you know, with 2 bits of fabric. There's no sort of thick fabric in between. But yeah, I'm really pleased with that. Now, the only problem I realised afterwards that I made a bit of a mistake, and that is a mistake in the lining. When you watch Ali's tutorial, she uses little paper templates to measure out her fabric, and I have done the same, but on one of the templates, it's the template for the lining and for this channel. I've included it on the same piece of paper, and I think when I was making the lining, I thought that the channel was a separate bit, but in fact that was what I used. That all that measurement was included in the whole lining, so the lining is a little bit small. And I remember putting the lining in thinking, oh, why is this much smaller than the bag? So I'm so sorry about that. It's not nothing is perfect, is it? But next time I make a bag, I must remember that a whole bit of paper is for the whole lining. But yeah, I'm really pleased. Yeah, I hope you like it. So, project bag. What have we done? Book, pom-pom, yarn, project bag. Oh, and then last time I think I was talking to you about I'd found a new pattern for a face covering, and it's the Stitch Sisters tutorial, and it's amazing. So I'm now making lots, and you literally just use a dinner plate as your template. It's really simple. So I've made you a face covering out of the matching lovely green ditzy poly cotton. It's really good. It's the same both sides, but you can tell which is the inside because of this little channel. I was going to say, if for some reason this is too tight or too big, you can literally snip that and put your own elastic through there if you'd prefer. I won't put it on because it's all nice and clean, but I'll show you one I made for myself, just to show you how much better I really prefer it compared to the previous face coverings I used were the pleated versions, like pleated this way, and they're all right, but this is even better. So this is, again, is made out of a poly cotton. I made the trapeze dress out of this. I'll put it on and you can see that it really covers from the top of your nose right under your chin, and it's lovely and flat. You can move them around so they're hidden or hidden in the channel. Oh, it's so good, and it feels so secure. The other ones definitely, you know, move about a bit. Now the only thing with this is it fits my face and my daughter's face, but it doesn't fit my husband's or my dad's. It sort of comes a bit too short, so I just need to, I haven't got anything bigger circle wise, so I'm going to have to borrow my daughter's compass to make a bigger circle. So yeah, I really hope you like all of that. So the book, the yarn, the pom-pom, the project bag, face covering, the little notepad, and some chocolates. So let's see who has won. So I'm going to put random number generator 1 to 62, just to show that it's all 1 to 62, and then generate. And the winner is 51. Oh, 51 is Michelle Cranford. Now, how funny, Michelle. Oh, I'm so pleased. Michelle has messaged me and wanted to send me a Christmas card. So that's lovely. So now I can send you a gift instead of a Christmas card. Oh, I'm so pleased, Michelle. That is lovely. Sorry for everyone else who's entered and hasn't won, but I will be doing more. I'm really pleased about that. I will be doing more giveaways with any sort of little milestones that occur. So yeah, that's so nice, lovely. Let me just move everything out the way and show you some other things. While we're talking about, oh sorry, you can't see me. While we're talking about sewing, because I've shown you the book, the bags and the face coverings, I'll talk about what I'm wearing. Okay, so I did show you this last time. I've made this a long time ago. It's the first garment I ever made, and I made this and finished it on my way to the first ever Edinburgh Yarn Festival. So I was really pleased with it, and it is the Floozy cardigan by Libby Johnson. And this is made out of the Knitting Shed Ainsworth and Prynne yarn. It's like slubby sock. It's so lovely. This one isn't the Knitting Shed. This is, I can't remember. I might remember it in a bit. But the natural undyed is the same. But it's a lovely pattern. And in fact, I'm feeling now, out of all the jumpers I've been making lately, this fits me the best. So I'm definitely going to make Libby's Floozy 2 as a jumper, because I just think that fit is so good. And yeah, I'm really pleased with it. But why I'm wearing this is because I'm in the conservatory again and it's freezing in here, and underneath is a new dress that I've made. And I was speaking last time about being really inspired by the lovely Paula from Stitched by Mrs. D, and she's always wearing a beautiful dress, and it's the Emery dress by Christine Haynes. So I bought that, and I've made it. I'll show you it. I'll take my cardi off. Or even though it's freezing cold, just to show you, I'm going to stand up and show you. I'll move out of the way a bit. So it's a fitted bodice with a gathered skirt, and it has got pockets, and it's just below my knee. It's just got nice little sleeves. There are darts, there's sort of darts here, darts coming up, and it's the same at the back. And there's a zip that you can see. Yeah, I'm really pleased. I'm just going to, when I first made it, the bodice was far too long and my waist was sort of down here, and it looked really odd. So I had to I lifted it up on me and realised I was sort of that much too long. So I just, this is before the sleeves were in, I just folded over 1.5 inches at the shoulders. But I'm really pleased with it. Yeah, it's lovely. And this fabric is that Dobby I was talking to you about last time. Now, what I also talked to you about last time was that the fabric is quite thin and see-through, and the pattern does suggest putting a lining in, and I'd cut the lining out but hadn't sewn the darts in, and I just thought I couldn't be bothered. And I had a day where I thought, I'm just going to get this dress made. Oh, it looks really sweet there, doesn't it? One thing I really have realised that I love is gathering. I really love gathering here and at the waist. I'm really happy doing that. And I do love this style of, you know, a bodice and a gathered waist and a sort of a flowy skirt. So the things I wanted to talk to you about was that if I bought a dress or clothes in the shop, I would buy a size 16, but the measurements on the pattern indicated I probably could get away with a size 14. But whenever I see Paula wearing it, her bodice bit always looks very fitted and fitted around the waist, and with my weight at the moment. I just thought, I don't want anything too tight. So I decided to go with the 14, but graduate out to a 16 at the waist. In fact, now I'm thinking I probably should have just done a 14, because it is quite, I suppose that's the thing, isn't it? Do you really want it, you know, tight? That's what I don't want. I don't want it tight there so that when you sit down it feels like it's pulling. So that's one thing I'll do. If I do another one, I'll just make it in a flat 14. The other thing is that even though I am at my biggest weight at the moment and I'm curvy, I've got boobs, I've got hips and stuff, I am quite flat here. So even though I've got, this might be too much information, even though I've got boobs, I've never had a cleavage. You know, people that you always see a cleavage here. I'm not. I'm almost like completely flat here, and my boobs are obviously lower down. So often things look a bit big off my shoulders. So yeah, it's not the perfectest of fits. The other thing that I found was I was really anxious about putting the zip in, and I followed a tutorial for an easy way of doing a zip. And weirdly, after I'd done that, Paula is also doing Vlogmas, and she showed how she puts her zip. She was making one of these dresses. I wish I'd seen that first. I should have done that. But another annoying thing was once I put the zip in, I could then fit the dress over my head. So I don't even need a zip in it. I do want to make things with zips because they look nice and professional, but I could have got away with not putting a zip in this one. You can see it's quite creasy. When I ironed it and hung it in the wardrobe, and one side got a bit rucked up, so it does crease quite well, but I'm really pleased with it. And it feels very comfortable sitting here. I'm going to put the cardigan back on. So the things that I haven't done is I haven't put a lining in, but you can't see I've got a white bra on, I don't think, and you could always wear a vest under it if you needed to. It's very cool, it's lovely and floaty. I might even have got away with making a size 12 here and grading it to a 14 around the waist, which seems crazy because I'm not a size 12 at all, but that's the whole thing with sewing your own things, isn't it? Try not to think about what clothes size you are in a shop. It is what your measurements are and what the pattern's measurements are, what the finished measurements are. So so I think if I was to make it again, I'd either do it, I definitely would do one without a bodice. I would definitely put the zip in the way Paula has shown how to put a zip in. I would have to take off 1.5 inches here and maybe go down a size. But the other thing I was thinking is, compared to Tilly and the Buttons indigo dress, which I really love, I haven't had to make any adjustments in that. In fact, I would probably go down a dress size in that one because that's quite forgiving and quite loose. So it's fun, isn't it? You make things, they are lovely, but next time, you know, if something's a bit more faffy and the other one fits better, I might go with that. But I'm really, really pleased with it. I'm really pleased I've made a navy dress. I love navy. And this cardigan, I found that I've not really been able to wear it much because it doesn't really go with anything that I've got. Excuse me, just get cosy again. Sort my hair out. Right. It'll be interesting to see when I watch the video back what it looks like from the back, because you don't get to see what you look like from the back, and I think there is a little bit of puckering where I did the zip not particularly right. But yeah, thank you, Paula, for all your inspiration. I love all your dresses. It's a beautiful pattern, and I'm really pleased with the finished garment. It did take me a whole day while my daughter was at school. I thought, right, this is it, I'm going to get this done. I really loved the pockets. You know, I've got a few patterns with pockets in, but these pockets are perfect. And just by me lifting it up 1.5 inches, that's making me think as well, what is my body? Does that mean my body is short? If it's short, it must be. I have a short body. So yeah, anyway, by lifting it up that 1.5 inches, the pockets are in the perfect place. Oh, my hair's looking a bit of a mess. Just have a slurp of tea. Now I keep looking in my cup because there is something at the bottom. Something must have come out of the bag, but it looks suspiciously like a fly. Hope it's not. Anyway, so yeah, floozy cardi, which is lovely and soft. Emery dress, which I'm really happy with. So I've talked about my sewing with the project bags, the face coverings. Now really, all I've been working on since the last podcast is crochet, and that's because a friend of mine had requested 2 crochet blankets, and I was determined to get them finished before Christmas. I haven't finished them, but I'm nearly finished. I finished one, and I've shown you this before. It's finished, it's washed, dried in the tumble dryer, and is now in one of these lovely bags from Wool Warehouse. These organza are quite handy for giving away as gifts. So, I'm really pleased with it. I hate the colours, but it's not for me. So this is the Cozy Stripe Blanket by Lucy from Attic 24. Again, I'll just come out a little bit, show you. Yeah, so it fits a single bed, but only if you lie on the bed with the stripes going that way. So it's as long as a single bed, but normally I'd make blankets this way with the stripes width ways, but I'm going to tell the mum it's that way. Well, you can see how lovely and drapey it is. It smells nice. This is using Stylecraft Special DK and a variety of blues and oranges, which were the request. So I'm really pleased with that. And in fact, when I was making it, it's so long, I was having it wrapped around me to keep me warm while I was crocheting. Around the edge, it's just a really simple, I did UK double all the way around, then trebles, and then a row of doubles, just to give it a nice, neat square edge. Anyone that doesn't know Lucy from Attic 24, I'm sure you all do, check out her blog or her Instagram account, Attic 24, and she has got loads of, everything is free, loads of free patterns, hundreds of patterns, and lots of edges and borders, and it really does make a blanket, I think, adding an edge. This is a very simple edge, but I was starting to think, I can't make it any bigger because I've got to make the next one. So it's for 2 brothers. So that's one. Really pleased to have that one finished. And the aim is to get it done this weekend to give to the mum next week before breaking up for Christmas. Oh, sorry. And this is the other one. Now, I've never really made anything in rainbow because this was the request for rainbow colours. Oh, this has been such a happy thing to be working on. Isn't it lovely? I'm really pleased with it. It looks lovely and neat. I love the colours. Yeah. So in total, it's 25 chunks or 25 coloured stripes. Her pattern suggests you change colour every 2 rows, but I wanted the whole pattern repeat for each stripe. And I've never made anything in such a chunky stripe, but it's lovely. So where am I at? 7, 14, 15, 16. I'm on row 17 and I've got to get to 25 and then do that simple border. So it might mean at the weekend I've got to really try and get a couple of chunky stripes done, but I think I'll do it. I don't work on a Monday, so if I don't get the border done, get that finished next Monday and get it to her the Tuesday or the Wednesday. We both work for the same NHS trust, so we're just going to have to try and meet halfway somewhere, meet in a lay-by and hand the blankets over. How long have I been talking for? 24 minutes. This is going to be a bit of a quicker podcast today because I suppose I haven't really got loads to show you. And at the minute I'm desperate. Today on my day off, I've been busy already, but I really want to get some sewing done. I want to make quite a lot of these and I can really do a lot of batch sewing, get some face coverings made for gifts. And you know what it's like when your children or child is I've only got one, when they're at school, there's a very small window of trying to get all of those kind of things done. The other thing I wanted to speak to you about was books. Last time I'd mentioned I wanted to start reading that Richard Osman book, The Thursday Murder Club, and I was going to start the 1st of December, but I started before. I bought my friend it as well, and we were reading it at the same time, and I finished it. It's lovely. It's not laugh out loud like I thought it would be, but it is really nice. It's really lovely. It's an easy read. It's really touching. And the thing that I love about it the most was that it was about older people. And I don't very often read a story about an older person who is actually not a stereotypical older person. And what I mean by that is that all the characters in it have obviously got a history, like everyone has, but I'm not explaining it very well. I suppose the only way I can describe it is that in my previous job, so as a nurse I've done several jobs, but I used to work in the community, caring for older people, but in a way to help them become independent. So we used to stop people being admitted to hospital by keeping them at home and giving them extra support for a short period of time, or we would help them come out of hospital with a support package in place to, again, get them back to being independent. And while I was doing that job, I did that job for 10 years, I did a degree in gerontology, which is care of the older person. And of all the things that I learned in that degree, the thing that has really stuck with me, and which is important in my role as a nurse now as well, and just in general, I think, is to understand that person's story, and to understand that they're not just this person now with a broken hip. Or I think it just makes you think, when you meet people, whoever they are, whatever age they are, they have got a story, they've got a history, they're here, they're the person they are today because of their history. And this book is about that, as in, these older people are living in a community of older people, but they all have skills and they all have knowledge based on their previous jobs, and that it's still really valid. So that's what I really loved about it, that it was really interesting, the characters, and the book is going to be made into a film, and I can't wait to see who they choose for the characters. So yeah, I'd really recommend it. It's a lovely story, and I think there's going to be another one, a sequel, so keep an eye out for that. After I finished that, my husband encouraged me to read a book he'd just read, and it's this one. I'm still reading it at the moment. It's called Lost Connections: Why You're Depressed and How to Find Hope. Now, it sounds quite a depressing book, but it's not depressing at all. There's lots of quotes from famous people, Elton John, Hillary Clinton. Lots of people have read it and thought it was really beneficial. And again, this is probably beneficial in your own life, but also in relation to my job and people that I work with. And obviously I work with, for those that don't know, I'm a health visitor, so I visit mums and their new babies. And before COVID, a lot has changed with COVID. Our role has really been reduced, and I won't go into that. But before that, we did a lot of sort of mental health support, people with depression and anxiety, like postnatal depression. And we'd always encourage, the like simple measures to help people with their mood or their anxiety, like making sure you've got support around you, making sure you're eating and drinking and sleeping well, and getting out and about in the fresh air, and a walk and the sunshine, and it can help lift your spirits and things like that. And meeting up with other people and going to groups and those kind of social things. And this book is a bit like that, really. The big thing about this book is that it talks about medication and how that's not necessarily a positive thing. And for those, I suppose, that have experienced depression or anxiety, you might have a different view about that, but I would definitely encourage you to read this book, because it definitely, I suppose, it looks at the marketing of medication and how it doesn't necessarily help if people have to be on medication for years and years and years. And you think, so it's definitely an interesting read, and looks at why people get depressed, and the myth that years ago people used to say that people would get depressed because there was an issue with their brain or an issue with their serotonin level, and they're saying that now it isn't that. It's based on your life, on your experiences, which I keep thinking, I'm sure that's what I've always thought. But reading this book, they say that doctors used to poo-poo that and say that it was nothing to do with your life experience. When you think, how on earth can it not be? How can you not experience something traumatic or sad, or and not be affected by it? So yeah, it's a really interesting book. The other day I had a really nice afternoon just having a bit of a clear out. Do you ever do this near the end of the year, where you sort of in your head you're making plans? And I bought a new notepad and bought some new pens and went through my drawer. I've got some books and started making plans what I'm going to start reading in January. I have been keeping records of all the books I've read, and this year this is the 12th book I've read, so it's not as many as last year, but I just still think it's so important just to but try and get a book read every month. Now my plan for January is to read this one. Now I've read, this bit here talks about Adam Kay. Has everyone read that book, Adam Kay, This Is Going to Hurt? I read that a couple of years ago, and it was really, really good. And I thought, well, I've never read a book about a nurse's story, and as a nurse I thought, well, that would be interesting. Obviously nurses come in all different shapes and forms. We're not all working in hospitals. We're doing a variety of jobs, but we're still nurses. But obviously I did used to work in a hospital, and it looks like this is based. It says that this nurse was a nurse for 20 years, taking us from birth to death. So it looks like she's worked all over the place, and I have as well. So I thought that would be really interesting. So I've got plans for reading. I think last time I spoke about plans for things I was going to make. The biggest thing really is I want to get that crochet blanket finished. And then everything else I've got ready in little bags. So in my Christmas break, I plan to cast on several things. I've bought some more patterns as well. I'm really looking forward to a Christmas break and casting on some things. The last thing I wanted to show you was just because I've purchased something recently and it's so beautiful. I don't know if I'm sure I've mentioned before, but the lovely Eva from Coco and Flora, she's got a lovely podcast, studio vlog and Vlogmas, and her vlogs are just so lovely, beautiful music, beautifully filmed, but she's got an Etsy shop and she's a sewer and she makes lots of things, and I've bought something from her before. I bought this, I think I might have shown you this before. Now I'm a child of the 70s, so I love anything like this, anything floral, brightly coloured that looks like it's... I'm sure I used to have a purse like this when I was little, and for this little purse, this is where I keep my little scissors and little stitch markers and needle stoppers. But the other day on her studio vlog, she was making this and I saw it, I thought, I've got to buy it. And it's a really cute pouch. It's such a good little design. Can you see there's a button? She's made that button herself, and she had a little tool that she was wrapping the fabric round, and I'll just show you it close so you can see. But it's so cute. And again, I'm sure my sister had a bedspread like this. So yeah, the little details I just thought. And in here I've just got a few other things. I've got my Kitchener stitch pattern on a little wooden block. I've shown you that before as well. I've got my cable needle, a tape measure. So I love keeping these near me. My 2 little Notion pouches with everything I need. So anyone that's not seen Eva from Coco and Flora, check her out. I will link everything in my little description box. I don't know if I've said before, but sometimes when I put my video up, I just get it up first and then I go in and edit, and then I put everything in my description box with links. So I hope that's helpful. But sometimes I put it up and almost immediately it looks like someone starts watching it. So I'm so sorry if you watch it early and you click the box and there's nothing in there. I am in the process of putting it all, filling it all in as you're watching it. So please go back and check if you ever need to check on any of the things I've talked about. I think that might be it. It is a quickie, but that's everything that I've made. I hope you're all okay. We're coming up to Christmas, and we're all still being advised to, be careful, stay safe. We're having a very quiet Christmas. We have got family that live locally, but we're not getting together in anyone's house. I know they say you're allowed to, but that doesn't mean that you should. I am worried that things are going to suddenly increase again in January, and so I'm just got to all keep each other safe. So yeah, we'll have a nice quiet one, which is probably the way I like it, to be honest. It's so cold in here. This tea is now nearly cold. Anyway, so Michelle, I'm going to say get in touch with me, but I've got your address now because you've already messaged me. So I'm going to package this up and I'm going to send it off to you tomorrow. Michelle actually lives in Texas, in America, and she's from New Zealand originally. So I've got a funny feeling that tomorrow, I wonder if that's the last day for sending things off. So I will send it off tomorrow, Michelle, and let me know when you receive it. But I'm really, really pleased. But thank you everyone that comments. People have left the most amazing comments to me, and I really, really appreciate it. And it does make me blush. Yeah, so thank you. Everyone is so kind, and I'm really pleased that you're enjoying the podcast. Is everyone else watching Vlogmas as well? I do love watching Vlogmas. I can't keep up with them all because I've got quite a few, but I'm quite particular. I really like atmospheric, just cozy things, really quite simple. Just like images of scenery and things. I don't know if any of you watch. Just see who am I watching, just to give you a few, but I'll put them in down below as well. I always watch Ali. Her podcasts or Vlogmases are on her other channel, her family channel, This Little Wonderful Life. They're always lovely. And Paula, she's been doing vlogs as well, Vlogmas, so I've been watching hers. I always watch every year Skeindeer Knits. Now, I don't really watch her podcast very often, but I love her Vlogmas because, again, it is just very atmospheric. I'm not really into material things at Christmas, so that's why sometimes I just like the simple side of people's lives. Coco and Flora, again, hers are beautiful. Sweet Sparrow Knits, I love hers as well. She's a yarn dyer living in America, but she lives in this most amazing place right next to a river. Oh, it's, when you just imagine the most perfect place to live, with no one else around you apart from beautiful scenery. So I love watching that. I love Brooklyn Knitfolk as well. She's based in New York. And years ago, me and my husband went to New York. So whenever I watch her Christmas vlogs, it just reminds me of, I feel like I recognise everywhere she wanders around. So I love that as well. Who else do I love? Sorry, I'm scrolling through trying to find, oh yes, so I came across another new person in America, and her name is Woolen Forest Knits, and hers are really beautiful as well. I really love watching those. Anything that's got some nice music in the background and beautiful scenery, and some candles like lit. You know, it's those kind of just simple, just, you know, don't have to chat much. Just, I love just having it in the background, listening to it. Oh, who else do I love? Just one more person that's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, Little Bobbins Knits. I think she's really good at that. Yeah, lovely filming and lovely music, and she's been doing some as well. But there are so many, like I say, it's hard to keep up with them. But and funnily enough, Sandra from Cherry Heart, I must have commented on one of, well, Sandra's a beautiful as well, sorry. Sandra, yeah, she typifies what I love in her little, is it called her Little Moments videos that she puts on, where it's just, yeah, beautiful music in the background and she's filming the garden or nature. I really love that. Or just what she's doing, you know, the you know, stirring of cake mix, or what's that, there's a name for that, isn't there, where you love the sound of things. But I'd messaged her to say I loved watching hers, and she messaged back saying, was I going to tip my toe in the Vlogmas waters? And I immediately said no, because, well, I just thought it's hard, not hard, but yeah, I just don't think I've got anything interesting to show. So, but after she mentioned that, I couldn't stop thinking about it, and I started to try and film, but oh, it's such a palaver because I haven't got a camera apart from my phone, and I haven't got a tripod, or I haven't got anything I can hold my car up in my car. But I filmed myself cutting a loaf of bread, which made me laugh because I thought, is anyone going to be interested in this, or is it just me? So I might just keep watching that, me cutting the slice of crusty bread. But yeah, I do love watching Vlogmas, but I don't know whether I'd be able to do it, because even just making a few videos and trying to attach music to it, it took me so long. So yeah, well done everyone out there that's doing it, because it's very yeah, hard work, time consuming, and you're clever how you manage to edit and produce this beautiful 10-minute video, which I know has taken much longer than 10 minutes to make. So I think that is it. I don't imagine I'll be back in December, and I'll hopefully see you in January. So yeah, best wishes all of you, hope you're all well, stay safe, and thank you for your continued support. But see you in 2021. Bye loves.